Like, I have one song I know if I have when I'm drinking. That's the only song I'm singing. Long Black Veil. Is this not recording, is it?
No.
10 years ago on a cold dark night someone... No, I can't sing to you, man. Jesus Christ, you nearly actually had me doing it, man.
Well, I have it there, so I'll keep that.
Oh, I'll chop you up.
You couldn't chop bread, would you stop?
Hey, listen, brother, don't... I know you do be doing all that boxercise in Karachi and all, but...
I'd put you in a headlock.
Do you reckon, D, man?
Oh, I'd knock you spark out.
I know I'm only about 27 kilo, bro, but come on.
But you've no technique.
I've got core strength, man.
Yeah, but you've no technique. You wouldn't know what to do.
But it's just bred in me, man. I'm a traveller, like. I'm just naturally going to beat you, like.
No, you'd probably bite me. You wouldn't beat me.
No. I'll keep it clean. Like, I just
you
slap
do a
it.
Huey Mott and you grab me by the nuts.
No, well, I could do that as well if you're interested, bro. But the way I do it
I'd pay extra for that. That's like a
little cider, and I say no more, man.
That's like a premium tier, top level.
No, that's exclusive members only, man.
Would you do that? OnlyFans, would you?
Well, I do OnlyFans. Well, it depends if they're into matchsticks, like, yeah, probably would do it. Like,
people are into it, I'm telling you.
Fucking hell. How's the money, man? Do you have to show your face? No, I just want to see your feet.
I'd advise you not to show yours.
Show me feet, Dean, if that's any good.
I'll tell you.
I'm about size 12, man, with a narrow foot.
Tell you,
do you know what I mean?
a skinny traveller man's foot, I'd go for about 20 grand a pop.
Get me on that now, quick.
How's it going, everybody? This is Martin Stokes here.
And this is Dean Scurry.
I am a traveller.
And I'm a countryman.
Welcome to A Traveller
And a countryman
Podcast. Episode number 47. Special guest, Tom McDonagh, neighbour and friend of mine, better known as Bridie's Tom. Did you ever know that, Dean? No?
I didn't know that Bridie's Tom.
Oh, man, that was meant to be a secret, man.
You learned something today, Dean. Go on.
Who's Bridie?
That's my grandmother. She reared me up since I was 3 months, so.
Did I meet Bridie?
Bridie, old Bridie in the site, yeah. I think you did. That was the one that followed you with the broom.
Now, they don't know a whole lot against me now.
She's a lovely woman.
She's the best in the world, like, yeah.
She raised you up?
Yeah, she raised me up since I was 3 months, Dean, yeah. My father and mother, they lived beside us for the first couple of years, but my older sister had a bit of a health issue growing up. So she was kind of in and out of hospital in the younger stage, and me and her was only like a year between us, so she was like 2, maybe 3, and I was maybe a year and a bit. So my nanny offered to take me in for a week. The week went on to a month, and that was about 20 years later then until she got me married off.
Did she ever give you an old backhand, Tom, did she?
Do you know what, man? I tell you the truth, like, I think once in my whole life I remember getting shouted at, and I only remember that because it was the one time. She never even raised her voice, man. I always tried my best never to give her a reason to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
That was good.
I had the respect because, like, she was an old elderly woman that was doing the best for me, so why wouldn't I, like?
Where were your folks living?
They were living in the same bay as us. We're all in the same bay. Like, there was actually 3 caravans in a small little bay. 3 big enough caravans as well. And me in 2016, the new housing estate opened up in Carton, and so my father and mother and all shifted over there. And obviously I stuck with my nanny still. I was about 10 at that age, so yeah, that was it. There was still only a 12 of stone away, like. Yeah, St. Margaret's, yeah, all my life, basically, yeah. I was even married, like, I was married about 19, so I was there till about 23, 24. So
where are you now?
I'm down here beside Santry Cross here in Ballymun, so it's still not too far from the site.
Your nanny, who's she, on which side is she?
She's the mother's mother. And my grandfather, he died when they were all young enough as well. They all moved up from Derry in 1990. He died at 37. Yeah, it was just a sudden move up to Dublin. It was a big change, like, from Derry. They were living down there during the Troubles and all that stuff as well. Or even in through all the 80s and all that. So when they come up to Dublin, it was a big change in certain ways, but they settled in kind of quick enough. They had a lot of family members up here.
And why did they come here, or why did they live?
That was the grandfather died, so that was the only connection maybe for my grandmother, not on her family. Like, all her family was in Dublin. And she was mostly basically up there because that was my grandparents, on my grandfather's side. Especially knowing, like, a father figure there for them, like, I know it would have been hard enough. So I suppose, like, Dublin is kind of has its own little issues as well, but at that time it suited them better. It was all for the good now, I think, anyway, because I probably wouldn't be here for one. I'm in Dublin now.
You were talking earlier on about a different football team.
Oh, Leitrim as well, yeah.
Where's that come from?
That's the father's side. My father's from Leitrim. That's his nickname too, is Leitrim. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, very good, yeah.
Do you know what? My mother's grandparents they probably would all came from there. Travellers a lot of them came up from the west in around the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? I'd say they're there a lot longer than that. My grandparents now, they're still there. Mohill, yeah.
You were telling me about that Mohill. Do you have family there?
He's grandfather basically in Mohill. He'd be an uncle to me.
So you are family, like.
We're intertwined. Well, see, look at travels to that many cousins. You know what I mean? Like,
Basically, we're half Dublin, we're half Mohill, and we're half Egypt. We're full Egypts.
not got a fraction though.
yeah. 3 halves makes 2 holes. Yeah.
3 half boys.
Look, it adds up anyway. Yeah, because it kind of makes sense. You blend it in there, like a bit of a blending.
Yeah, I like you as our vibe, especially up in St. Margaret's. It feels like there's a blend, and it's just who you are. It's, you know what I mean. Everyone's kind of.
Everyone gets on well, it's good.
Yeah, I've often kind of remarked that to myself now. There's a lot of different traveller people in there, and like when I mean traveller, like someone might be married in, but there'll be different surnames, you know what I mean? And luckily enough, that's never an issue. Like everyone kind of, it's a smooth little chemistry. Everyone gets on great with each other.
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
God. Like if anyone can do a turn for each other, obviously, like, do you know what I mean? You mightn't say hello to everyone every day. You mightn't get the chance to, but you wouldn't walk past someone without saying hello.
Like if you need an old tape bag, just throw it across the wall.
It's like prison.
Do what they used to do in
a tea bag.
do what you used to do in the flats down in what do you call? Remember the flats you're talking about? Do you used to wind the tea bag across the string from the flats? Did you remember that?
That's a sus we had as well, believe it or not.
Give us a tea bag. The tea bag was landing quicker than any post.
Imagine trying to do it with a cast with a jug of milk. Yeah, so that's it then. Up there last, I was saying 24 year. I'm 27 now.
Right.
Out there last 3 year.
And do you miss any of that?
See, I do be always kind of up there still mixing with everyone every day, and I still be alone go by, but I kind of get out there for something like for a change. I don't see myself in Ballymun forever anyway, do you know what I mean? So I love Ballymun with all my heart. It's a great area, but you know, I can't see myself here for a while. I'd like probably go and live somewhere else, probably a bit more quiet. I'd like to go down the country maybe.
Maybe now that you're into the acting, Tom, you probably have plans for a house, is it?
Nah, but we know how now.
Go on, Tom. Tom's in the money, boys.
Sometime down the line, it could be an end goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It'd be nice to have a bit of house, but somewhere for maybe the kids to put now a caravan up for that until they're ready to go. You know what I mean?
There's no
bit of
leaving the caravan behind, Dean, is there?
So you'll have your house, but you still need a caravan.
He actually has the caravan. He lives on the 8th floor, you know that? On that big fancy apartment.
Parked on the balcony.
He has the caravan up there in the balcony. He has.
Not gonna lie, it was hard work getting it up to him, but it was worth it, man. Bit of peace.
They got one of them. What they call the hoist? They got a big hoist.
Because I remember talking to John Connors. He said when he moved into a house, he missed the rain on top of the caravan.
No, that was a big one. Yeah, that's something you would miss 100%. Yeah. And where I live as well is triple glazed windows. You wouldn't hear a thing.
You wouldn't hear nothing. Yeah.
No.
So you're a bit isolated from that.
Yeah, I suppose there was things, and even just like, for example, standing out there, it could be like 10, half 10 at night or whatever time. You see a bunch of lads out having a chat, like you go over and what's the story? You know what I mean? It'd be nice to just go out and have a chat with people as well. But where I am myself is an apartment, like, so the neighbours don't really mix as much, like, but when you see them, you'll say hello and you'll say goodbye, like, but yeah, it's a different.
You wouldn't have the same community you had up in St. Margaret's.
No, definitely not. And I don't think many places have that anymore, to be honest, or they ever had as strong as St. Margaret's. Now every area has their own, but from where I come from, anyway, I've seen in a lot of different sites where travellers just pull strings and try and help each other along, like.
Yeah, it's more or less always a great bond there, like, with.
There's something I think it's just ingrained in them, you know, for years, like, and I don't think it's weaning out or dying out either. I think it's not as prevalent because, I don't know, people sometimes are a bit more stubborn now and probably doesn't need the help, probably doing a bit better in life for themselves. Yeah, severe poverty years ago. I think now travellers are kind of, the part, like, is a good and a bad thing, but being settled, like, gives them more of a chance of being educated, finding a job and being able to stick it out. And just creates more opportunities for them, I think. But on the other hand, then you're eroding a little bit of your culture away. I'm probably a big part of it, actually. So
there's a trade-off. How does being settled give you access to those opportunities?
Like, for example, now, if I was living in a caravan and I was travelling, yeah, like, it'd be hard for me to, for example, bring my kids to this local school if I could be in County Clare tomorrow. It's hard for me to
Whereas the travelling way is not dying out, though. You know,
it is dying out, but it's dying out against probably our will, Dean. There's that many laws now, trespassing laws and everything like that there. Like, that's, you kind of have to go with the system.
It's basically being forced out. It's the best
it's not something that we'd like. I wouldn't say I never got the experience. It was probably a generation or two before me, and that's probably the reason why I didn't get the experience. It was cut, and if you don't do it, and you do try to live by your culture, there is a good chance you'll be going to prison for it. Like.
I'll put it this way: there's travellers, lots and lots and lots of Irish travellers this minute, travelling all over England, all over France. There'll be a few out in Australia. Basically, they're more or less trying out other parts of the world. But in England in particular, There's a massive amount of travellers. And they have caravans still, and they're towing them all over the country, all around England, moving into camps here and camps there and camps absolutely everywhere they can go. So it means, in a sense, that if it wasn't by force or by law here in Ireland, this travelling thing would have never died out. It's nearly gone, but not fully, but it would have never died out. There's travellers in Ireland this minute that would just love to hook up a caravan on the back of their van, car, whatever they're driving, and head any part of Ireland and just be able to pull in the side of the road and have that kind of sense of freedom. That's what it is. It is a sense of freedom. See, what we have now, Tom, is we have all the travellers, you might say all the travellers, most of them being forced into houses and apartments.
Yeah.
We have all the settled people moving out of the house and get into caravans and campers.
Yeah, it's all topsy-turvy.
What does that tell you?
I wonder what that's for. Is because we're sitting beside them.
It's
or
because they're, maybe they left chewing their own words, drinking their own medicine, are they?
No, they could be glad to go back to the nomadic way yet, you know that? You could be
now
glad to go back.
We have nomadic countrymen. We have country travellers now.
I'll tell you what it is, man. It's the spirit inside, the human spirit that really wants them to yearn and go and explore and do all that stuff. And you have been restricted. It's your norm as well, not you. Like when I'm saying, for example, like you don't really see settled people with caravans going off doing stuff like that, unless they're pulled in at probably a holiday park. But in lines of seeing a settled people going around, 5 or 6 caravans, campfires, clotheslines.
Well, I'll tell you who does a lot of it though. A lot of the English gypsies, they hold on to it big time, to be honest about
That's good though, man.
They're living in any old caravans, or they have the horse-drawn wagons.
They're kind of allowed to do it, man.
That's right.
And I know...
although England is a more stricter country in a lot of ways, it's only in the last so many years that they've actually caught up with travellers' ways. Now they know too much about travellers in England.
Yeah, well, I think personally as well, another thing is England's so like what's called like a progressive country. They're very multicultural, very diverse. Travellers are not the forefront of everything. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right there.
And they're not getting as painted as bad over there because there's enough other groups that probably gets it just as bad. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
But back in Ireland, the majority... Do you know what I mean?
Well, you see, for years and years, Ireland was basically Irish people, and you might get the odd one or two different cultures. Now, we've always had the travellers, we know that. England, the UK, has always been a multicultural country.
Yeah, 100%.
Always. So, as you said here, that's why there wasn't as much
focus on travellers.
You might say racism or whatever. Now, it's probably happening all over the world anyway. But there would have been no focus on travellers. No, there would have been a lot more freedom.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of travellers probably left Ireland too.
Yeah.
Because, as we says, like we probably been assimilated in against our will, yeah. But them travellers there probably just had more of a want to do it and just got up and went.
Irish people would be immigrants all over the world. Even like in the last couple of years, we travelled to New York, different parts of Canada, Australia, New Zealand. So there's a good bunch, not just travellers, that have decided there's not much happening for me here. I'm going to touch on, and I'm going to make a family and a life for myself and a business for myself in another man's country. Like,
it's sad that kind of somewhere you have to do it, like, but if the opportunity's not there, like.
See the way yous are up in St. Margaret's and there's like 30 bays and now there's 50 odd families. The place didn't run with the times. It wasn't developed as yous grew, so people had to move on. And that's kind of like the way Ireland is. Ireland, like there's 100 million people of Irish descendancy, of Irish heritage. If they didn't travel off, they wouldn't fit here.
No, we'd sing probably. That's the truth, like. But yeah, everywhere you go, like any country you go, you'll always see an Irish bar or an Irish paddy going around.
Parts of the world, there is. I know I would say the Irish people themselves, never mind not just being travellers. Irish people have faced prejudice in other parts of the world also.
Oh, big time, yeah.
But then there's parts of the world that absolutely loves Irish people.
As you were saying before,
welcome them in that door.
You could go to New York and get served in a bar. You couldn't go down to Santry and get served in a bar.
Nah, true that. Like, yeah, I look on in Dublin now as well. Even like in around Dublin City, I find a lot easier. If you go down the country, try to get into a bar. Not happening. I'll tell you one before. I got me and my friend went into the. It was in Tipperary, yeah, Clonmel. I won't say the pub anyway, but we went in anyway to get a pint and watch the Manchester United playing a match. And some young one came down and she served us. She was very nice. She gave us the pint. And as soon as the manager saw her, he looked around. What are you doing? So he started giving out to her, don't be serving them and not giving out to her. So he says, get up, you have to go. He says, there's a function on here tonight. And he says, yeah. He says, no bother, so I'll go. But before I go, he says, I'm drinking me pint. Because I'm after being served. He says, I'm not going, I know like I'm entitled to drink it. Oh, he says, as soon as you drink it, he says,
basically, the drink start working on you, Tom, straight away.
He says, go, I didn't even get a sub here, man. Right?
The violence is coming out, Tom.
The match only kicked off, and by the time the end of the match was finished, I had about half a pint still left, yeah? So I was literally sipping it, but every person...
You didn't want to finish it.
No, I wasn't even really drinking it. I mostly went down to watch the match and have a few pints. But I wasn't like... I just came out, got bugged. So what happened was, when there was people coming to the door, I'd ask them, like a security man, are you here for the function? No, sorry, you're not allowed in tonight. And I'd point to the man at the bar, she's not here for the function. And I swear to God, within that hour and a half the match was on, I refused about 12 or 13 people away from the door.
You did?
Yeah, I was to confirm it with the barman. No, well, like, they're not here for the function. There was no function, you know what I mean? So he'd turn around and he'd look and he'd say, well, basically, he'd have to go as well.
Yes.
And after refusing about 30, the match was finished and half a pint still there, I got up and went out.
So you got the match over at least.
He lost about 30 and 14 customers for refusing me, so that was my way of getting them back to him.
You'd be a good bouncer then, wouldn't you?
What was he refusing you for?
No, he gave me a function. There was a function.
No, why was he
What do you
asking
think,
you to
Tom?
leave?
Why do I think though?
Yeah.
Why do I think he asked me to leave? It's a very, very small town with a very large traveller population in it. And I say maybe they had issues before. My first time actually, no, my second time ever coming into the pub. I went in before, got served in another bottle by myself, me and my missus. So maybe the other lad probably had an issue, but he never actually directed him. He's only talking to me saying it. So I reckon, probably, I don't know, 2 young lads or else 2 travelling young lads, I don't know. But he just
How would you know you were a traveller?
Yeah, I wasn't going around with a badge on my forwards, but I could say the other lad was familiar. He's from the town. It's a small town, do you know what I mean? So I'd say he probably had some idea that we were.
How would he know?
How would he know?
Do you think, Tom, maybe he's seen traveller all over your face, did he?
I know, I'm trying to think. I didn't have it written down, like, but how would he know? Like, I don't know,
You didn't have
Dean.
any tattoos on your forehead or anything,
Like,
no?
for me, right, this is a compliment now. You look more like Freddie Mercury than a bleeding traveller.
Jesus Christ, I heard that every single day.
Didn't
About
Tom, yeah?
10 different people told me that. I swear to God, my
Like,
own sister
you're-
always drives me to that about, man.
You're quite a good looking fella.
Oh, fair play, Dean.
Wow.
Good man,
You're
Dean.
quite confident. You're quite educated. Now, I'm not saying travellers aren't good looking, confident or educated, but
It's
I'm
quite-
trying to pick out what this fella was looking at, or was he hearing your voice?
I think there was a prejudgment. He assumed maybe this guy is sound as a pound now and chat me civil. When he has 2 or 3 pints on, he might think he's him, man, and start breaking up the pub. Even though I'm about 4.5 stone and soaking wet, and he would have threw me out of the pub, head, neck, and heels. But I think personally that was he made a quick assumption and he couldn't really back down off it. Then, do you know what I mean?
Do you think he's seen the blackguard in you, Tom, yeah?
Well, man, you'd have to look deep in my soul because I don't think I've ever blackguarded anyone in my life. Or did I? I don't know. Maybe I did.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
Oh,
don't
man,
think so.
yeah. If I did, lads, I apologise. Heartfelt, really do.
No, you're like, for me, you're a beautiful man.
Come on now, Dean, don't get carried away. He's married, his kids and all that.
Just like I was
Explain, Dean. You need to
just like
explain
I
what
was
you mean there.
complimenting Davey last week, and like I compliment you all the time, and it might be hard to
He's a
hear
nice
compliments.
person. I mean, he's a nice person, basically, yeah.
He's a man. You're a man.
What you're saying is a beautiful soul. He's a beautiful soul.
That might be difficult for you to hear, but I'm going to say it. Tom, you're a beautiful man.
Tom, don't get excited. You won't
No, but I'm just raging here, man. He assumed that I'm a man.
That's where you went wrong.
Are you seriously after crossing the line here now?
I'm trying to be a boy all my life.
Plus he caught you-
I want to be a boy.
I'm a real boy. But yeah, then that's it, brother. That was... You're in the middle of company there. You can finish off there if you want.
Well, the compliment is I'm
Sorry for cutting you
Oh,
off.
no.
delighted
Top of the
that you
podcast.
agreed to come down, because I've asked you once or twice and you had like a herd of excuses. And I know you're busy now, that you're a fully paid up member of the Acting Guild Society of Ireland, and that you don't have a spare minute.
Head what?
Martin said alluding that you're rolling in the money from the acting.
No, Martin's just assuming that because I owe Martin a few quid and he's trying to get it out of you.
If he talks you up,
He's trying to find out that I pay anyone else the money, you know what I mean?
Did he pass on someone, yeah?
So, you know what I mean? So Martin knows us anyway.
So let me finish out the compliment. I'm delighted that Martin is asking other travellers down here for the podcast to have the chats. It just opens up so much possibilities and potential for just dialogue, chat, converse, and get to know each other and strip away all the bullshit, all the shit labels that we have. Just get to know each other and be a little bit of honesty, a little bit of bleeding humanity, a little bit of vulnerability is fucking all I'm looking for from this, you know? So Bill the Boss, thanks for coming down.
Anytime, man. Thanks for having me though.
So Tom, tell us about your acting career. Go on.
Acting
If you feel like it. If you're okay with it.
Nah, it's not really a career now, I tell you. So I did little projects like basically.
You don't know what doors will open up for your kid.
Hopefully, man. Look, if you won't know until you try. Do you get me? Like, and something never even thought I really had it. Came very randomly. Like, I don't know if you know, but it's a thing called the law of attraction. Not just about acting, but I always try and invite good things into my life and be positive about things and happy and all that. Yeah. I was having a discussion with one of the lads, and he just explained to me basically that there was a traveller short being made. A short film about mental health for travellers, and it was about a lad who was going through turbulences and had a load of issues, family issues, financial issues, all that stuff, and a load of people's offering him help, but he skips all that, thinks there's no one there for him, and ends up basically passing away, yeah, on his own terms basically. And the main person in that, they were looking for someone for the main person, so I was just curious. So I said, yeah, I'll audition for it, like, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I got the part anyway. And it was only like a 15-20 minute short, but it was a brilliant message in the film. Right. Even out from the acting and all that, just the story in itself, like, there was a lot of good message in it. It was very good, like, it was a 3-part, it was a trilogy, like, there was a strong message in it. And from that, like I said, you know what, another little thing popped up as well, so I said, I'll get involved in that. Then I did a bit of stage work. I did a little play in front of about 300-400 people. It was ashamed of my life doing, I'm not gonna lie. But it was a 2-day yoke, but the second day I did it, it was like no one was there. And now that's the way I am anymore. I just not bothered. Like, you just go in there, relax. I know it's not that easy, man, but from the second I did it, like, I just said, a bit easier than I thought. It's just giving it a go again, do you know what I mean? It was just a mental block, you think not to...
I was going to say, you got over that barrier. Like,
I got over the barrier, and then the second time I did it was great. And then I did another little small documentary about education and stuff. Me and my son did it a couple of months ago. I got played in the Galway Film Festival, and it was funded by the US Embassy and stuff like that there. Yeah, we got a little award for that as well. It was a little 8 or 9 minute short documentary as well. And there were more or less interviews in the documentary and a little bit of a story behind it as well. And now at the moment I'm doing a small little play as well out in with Mary Mac Productions. Mary McDonagh now is another woman that I do a bit of work with. She's brilliant as well. She's very dedicated. Now, we're not related now, but she's brilliant. She's like a Terminator. Like, she sets her mind on something. Like, she's very straightforward, cuts out all the bullshit, but you know where you stand with her. Very up straight. But I have good time for her anyway, because she's just a good person. She kind of kept me involved in it again, and we're doing this play as well. And again, that'll be in front of about 100 people, I think. This
brilliant.
One is.
Fair play to you, huh?
So,
where was the 300 seater?
It was in the Carmelite Centre. And in the Luxicon Library in Dunleary.
Fucking hell, man, I'm blown away. Like, I literally only thought you'd done the John Boy short about suicide.
No, I did the other 2 or 3 as well.
I think we're looking at the next Colin Farrell here, do you know?
Or Remy Malik.
Is that your man who played
Freddie Mercury?
Yeah. Very good, yeah.
But these had to put me on the spot here, because I tried 300 seater, could be 270.
Yeah, don't worry about the details.
250.
You won't charge for a few seats, Tommy, don't worry.
€20 ahead, just so you know. Yes. Just because in case the money didn't add up, guys, yeah? No, it wasn't me. I wasn't a financial accountant. Someone did something. No, just go out and I gave it a go. Yeah, as I said, very nervous first time. But a fella did say to me, actually, if you wasn't nervous, you wouldn't be bothered about it.
And in those theatre pieces, is the role a traveller?
No. The first one, in the short, obviously, I was a traveller in that. But on the theatre, no, it was like a minute. It was like 3 small different plays in one go. Do you know what I mean? And it was mostly got to do with the 1916 Rising, and another one was just made up from scratch, so someone had wrote out themselves and all. You know, like reading out poems, and Michael Mallon's poem and a few different little...
And what's it like when you're up there?
I don't know, I found it very handy, because a few times I made mistakes but no one has a clue.
Yeah.
Do you think that's part of the play? You know what I mean?
So you go along with it?
I've often forgotten, threw my hands up and like look around.
A little improvisation.
Good man, Tom.
And I know what I mean, reeled myself back into the system. Like, shit, sorry. That wasn't happening to mental now, and then you'd be doing it again. But you just keep rolling with it, you know what I mean? You just don't try look the whole crowd into the eye, like, do you know what I mean?
Just pick a spot in the room and that's where I'm looking.
Oh, very back seats. Trying to blank out everyone else in between.
And throw your voice out up the back.
Yeah, scream, Delhi for screaming and shouting, and you have that good projection.
Do you remember any of the dialogue?
Not really, Dean. No, I can remember a bit of the poem, but it's not getting me. I only know the first 2 lines with that.
Why, are you still ashamed? I'd put it on, or I won't.
Tom, let it out, son.
Let it out.
I only know 2 lines on it.
That's all we need is 2 lines. The hairs will stand up in me bleeding arms.
To hear ye the watchwords of labour, to they who want to be free. No most man must bend the supplement knee to labour.
Very
I
good.
went like that. Hear ye of bachelors of the labour.
Go on, say it. Go on, Tom. You say it. Go on. Do it the way you do, Tom.
Of
Go on.
these brave men who want to be free. No more to any enslaver will I bend my supplement knee.
Good man, Tom.
I'm about to get the shivers there now. Tom, you've got something. And I know whoever's listening to this in different parts of the world, travellers, non-travellers, whoever is listening to this going, that young man has something there. There's something in you. There's an energy. There's a voice. There's an education. There's a blatant message there. I'm telling you now.
No, nice one, Dean.
And I would say fucking go with it. Go with everything that comes with it. Just fucking go with it. Go and fly.
Go with the flow, man. That's the truth. I have a good wife there that doesn't, like, I wouldn't say doesn't care. She cares the most in the world, but she wouldn't care if I told her, do you know, if I want to do ballet, she'd probably be a bit worried.
I wouldn't. I'd say you're able for
She'd
that.
tell me to go and do it. Like, she's very, very, very good for stuff like that there, and I respect her for that. She knows, you know what I mean? So, and I have 3 young sons as well, 6, 4 and 3. And I'm going to be, hopefully, please God, I want them to have no shame. I'm going to break their barriers if I can. Be the spearhead. So if they can look up, see me going to college and see me doing all this here, well, then what's going to restrict them and why would they be ashamed?
Are you actually back in college now? Yeah.
I'm back in college on Monday, Martin, please God, yeah.
Fair play to you, Tom.
Nice one, bro.
So the shame ends with Tom McDonagh.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
Hopefully, now listen, you try to break the old cycle. Not that I was a real, but I'm not saying something more opportunities, try and create something different. Just give them an out of something different. And if they look, I wouldn't force them to do anything, whatever they want to do, but I will try my best to encourage them to do whatever they want. And if they see me doing these things and dipping my toes and stuff, they might try it themselves. And
beyond your immediate family, your voice will have that effect with other people as well.
Dean, do you know what I was just thinking? What just came to me to mind there? When Thomas saying there that he's going to do what he feels like doing, which is good, and he has the support, as he said, of his wife, basically. Also, which is good again. The other thing also then that he's saying he's going to try to get his young lads to do what they feel good about and not be ashamed about.
Options and opportunities, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's great because the last week when we were doing that other podcast with Davy Collins, yeah, his father tried a lot of stuff, like of acting and whatever, say, probably singing and all that kind of, all sorts of different types of works, yeah, DJing and all that, which took courage, no doubt about that.
Like, yeah, geez.
And now you have this young lad say that Davy Collins was Jesse, isn't it?
Yeah, his nickname's Jesse.
Now you have him doing literally more or less the same thing, not ashamed of trying anything, which is very, very good. It seems like his father broke, whether they see it or not, it seems like his father broke barriers for him, which is good. And Tom is saying the same thing now about his young lads, God bless them, when they grow up.
And I'm saying the same thing about you, Martin.
What are you saying with me, Dean?
Yeah.
Well, you're breaking cycles.
Yeah,
you're breaking barriers.
Big time.
You're breaking records. You're
I've
breaking
never looked-
hearts.
Big time.
Big time. I know that
When
Tom...
you say breaking hearts, is it me good looks or something? To say the muscles and all that.
Well, we don't do video. If we did, we'd have to get a bigger camera.
All the screens cracked.
Zoom out.
I know that Tom listens to this podcast and he gets a lot from it.
No, I do it. How it just already? It's probably the dynamic of it. It's just the two chalk and cheese heads. Like one, you're different. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of podcasts, I'll listen to a lot of them anyway. A lot of good ones. But like yourselves now, probably the cream of the crop. But a lot of people, like just say for example on podcasts and radio stations and all stuff like that there, two of the people will be very similar, but they'll take a side for it to make it more interesting. Like one fella will argue for and the other fella will argue against. It's still not the same. You're not really arguing, but you're so different that just comes naturally, and it's just without knowing. It's like a debate, but you'll probably just be talking
It's not
about the
really
weather.
arguing. It's just that
Exactly.
Dean does a bit of bullying every now and again, but it's okay.
Dean
It's
is a
okay.
very,
It's
very
okay.
violent person, an aggressive person. He's here now growling, biting his finger, looking at me. You know what I
Mad
mean?
for fighting, he's
You know,
mad
box
for
the head of you.
what brought me in there?
What do I do? It's a small little space. Well, Jesus. And Martin has the door blocked, so hope he's on my side today. If not, I'm done.
Yeah, I think today is 2 travellers against the countryman, isn't it?
You think we need them odds, man, do we?
Yeah.
We live a fair, man. We live a
He's a
one-on-one.
big old chap, Tom, at the end of the day, isn't he?
Oh, do you know
Yeah.
what? You're right. Actually, you're right, 100%.
But inside, like, I'm just, like, as I said before, I'm just a little dandelion, a little flower blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Like, I have the big frame, but
Tom, he
he's
talks
dead
like that.
again.
He talks like when he's surrounded, honestly. He's just,
I've seen Dean
Don't
thrown
fall
a
for
few
that one,
punches
Tom.
before, man. He does a bit of boxercise, I heard.
Ooh.
The man is super fit.
Yes.
If you keep the body moving, The head stays fresh.
No, 100% it does, Dean, brother.
How long are you married?
I'm married 7, yeah, but I'm with her about 8, yeah.
Where did you meet her?
I was working in an exchange house. I was doing a youth placement in there. And every year they do an annual achievements award. For example, if someone does like their leaving cert, junior cert, or any college degrees or anything like that, there, they'll come in and they'll get their rewards for like end of year awards. And I was in there working and she did her leaving cert and she's up there with her father and her mother and all that. So seeing her.
Tom threw the all eye one side.
I see it through the all eye one side, like, and I was like, and so
I call it twitch in the eye. The twitch in the eye he had.
And I tell you what the story was, right? There was a lot of hot food and sandwiches and all left out, and
Tom hadn't. You weren't hungry, though, were you?
No, I wasn't. Right? I swear to God, right? I walked in and I asked her to make me a cup of tea. I swear to God, this is the truth. Her outfit was a big lump of a man, so I was really trying to keep out his sight. You know what I mean? So I was in real quick, and I don't even drink tea. You know what I mean? So she made it for me, and we got talking and got to know. Well, I wouldn't say we got to know each other there and then, but that was the seeds planted. I asked for a cup of tea, and married now, 3 kids there.
He's a bit of a charmer, wasn't he? Didn't even drink the tea. Hey, didn't even drink tea.
I was shaking like that. You know what I mean?
And that cup of tea led to 3 kids.
Why'd you say Tom was the best cup of tea you ever had? Isn't it?
Best cup of tea I've ever had.
And he didn't even drink
never
it.
had, even so, yeah. But I tell you, and then we got married quite quick after. We kind of got engaged within 4 or 5 months. We were married within the year.
Was she polite about this cup of tea, Tom? She was.
Do you know what? I think she was throwing the idea out on him. Threw the cup at me, that's about it. Yeah, you'll have to dodge cups, man. You'll learn that trick after a while. You know what I mean? Plates now, they're a bit different. It's like frisbees with them. She gets them back and off. All in one piece. Not me though, I'd be in a couple of pieces.
You are a different generation to Martin. For Martin to talk about his relationship and his wife, I get a different level of feedback. You know what I mean?
I'll put my sleeves up here now.
Don't talk about my woman.
But you're from a generation who's...
What'd you say about my mama?
You're from a generation that's breaking barriers and breaking stigmas and breaking down all those cycles and all that type of stuff, as you were talking about earlier on. So you can talk about your wife in a way that, you know, an older generation can talk.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I understand that. Like, that's it. It's not really a generation thing. It's probably even still to this day. Like, it just depends what way. You wouldn't randomly just talk about women, like stuff like around
exactly,
mates,
yes.
man. Like, just question come up how it matter. Like, I'd explain no bother how it is, but for me to come down and say like,
he didn't give you no history of the world of travelling wowomen or anything.
Yeah.
He just talking about his wife.
for
like,
example,
you know what I mean?
like if I come in, I wouldn't just come in here and sit down and say it. Like, I don't know. I can't really give you an example. Like, I wouldn't really. Not that I wouldn't talk.
You wouldn't come in here and start throwing every woman's name around the place, Tom.
Definitely not, man. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be my thing. Yeah.
Obvious question. Do you love her?
I love her and I'm in love with her. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. When you met her, what was the steps between you meeting her and you getting married? Like, how long was that? And was there courting? Was there dating?
Yeah. Do you know what? The very first time we were going to see each other, I got the bus down to Clonmel and it was 8 o'clock the bus was leaving at, as I thought. Yeah? Now I'm stuck down in Clonmel by myself, winter's night. And I was coming up to 7:30, so I went up to the bus stop anyway.
And you ring her daddy, Tom, no?
I did all right, stone dead. But I think this is the first time she got a bit of time away in about a month and a half. So even when she was gone, she was panicking. She couldn't even wait there. So she was with her sister and all like that there. We went out to the cinema. She dropped me back home, back up to the bus stop. And long story short, I came past 20 past 8 and I was there by myself. Like, the bus is 20 minutes there. It's not like that, no. About 8:45, I seen a bus. Yeah. And this is on a winter's night. It was
the last bus
freezing, gone. But the Limerick bus came. I was like, what's the story? The Dublin bus is coming tonight.
So George, daddy bus now a bit of heat.
That's what I'm saying. I was freezing with the cold, yeah. But long story short, when the bus came, he said, buddy, that was 8 o'clock in the morning. It leaves
He makes back, he done that. He got a flight from Liverpool at 5:30, but it was 5:30 in the morning.
I was like, no way.
PM and AM. You never got your M's right, Tom. PM and AM.
I completely mixed them up.
You missed that class.
It shows how excited I was to get down, wasn't it?
Tom, I think you deliberately missed the bus.
Man, do you know what?
I think you set yourself up.
If she was going to stay around, 100%, but I was there freezing by myself, yeah. was like, how am I going to get home? How am I going to get home? And as I said, I tried about 5
Had you at least got a phone at this stage?
Well, I had a phone, but who am I going to ring from Dublin? No one really drove from up there, do you know what I mean? So I ended up going, trying about 10 different hotels in the place.
Wow.
And no one would let me in.
Should have used that acting
It was
voice.
like away in the main, you know what I mean? It was just not happening. No, not tonight, sir. And I was on to the next one. The one was really nice and sympathetic, but I still wasn't getting to bed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So long story short, man.
So the sympathy didn't pay the bills.
Yeah. I decided that, I was looking home the pain now, do you know what I mean? Like,
No, he said the sympathy.
I said sympathy didn't pay the bills.
That definitely didn't pay, no way.
Yeah.
That left me out in the cowl. But anyway, I come up to about 10:30, long story short, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to sleep rough here tonight.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So I was up at the bus stop about half an hour. I was like, shit, I'm not surviving this. So I rang up my uncle's head. I got cursed every name under the sun. Called every name under the sun.
Ted called you?
Yeah, but still got in his van and straight down. Him and me came down and picked us up. But they never got down there till about 1:30, 2:30 in the morning, do you know what I mean? Because about 11:30, by the time I was finished ringing them, or about 11 o'clock, sorry, and it took about 2 hours for them to get down, yeah?
That sounded like real love, Tom.
It was, as much as he called me name, like, you know what, bite me tongue, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
you couldn't answer
I'm very
back.
sorry, yeah. Why can't she not drop you up? 1 in the morning. But he came down and...
It wouldn't be Ted if he didn't have a good roar, would
he had to hand the whole way up. Murders on the York, man. But yeah, he digged me out of a hole, so... You never need to lift in to let us know, yeah? Let us know, free of charge. One time.
Oh man, Tom. Was that was your experience, Tom, with Clonmel, yeah?
That was my first experience to start off. I thought the worst
and the worst.
The worst yet to come?
Oh, the first, the worst. Nah, like, I'm not going to start waiting for the in-laws now, Dean. But if you want to give me a platform to do it, I will.
So it was worth it all the end, Tom.
Mary, don't even start me with you. I'm only messing, I love you. Can he see me winking?
He loves them.
They can hear you wink harder there.
But you know what? My mother-in-law's after going through a very bad tragedy there last week. Her sister, she was the woman that died in the crash.
Was that her sister? Yeah.
Remember the 3 people that died in the crash? Yeah, that was the relation of herself. But anyway, I got to arrest that poor woman, that poor man as well.
Would you be religious?
Yeah, I definitely would be, Dean, yeah. I'm a very strong believer in God.
What do you believe?
Do you believe in love after love?
I'm not going to lie, I believe in love after love, yeah?
Come on, Tom.
I believe, Dean, basically, in life, if you live a very, very positive life and be happy, and not always going to be happy, but try your best to be positive and help people, right? You'll get this eternity of a dream. This is when you're dead now. This eternity dream is heaven. It's everything you've ever wanted. God, Jesus, all the angels, saints, all your family that was dead and gone, but you have no worries or no problems. And that's for eternity. That's your heaven. But I believe also, if you live by the way of Jesus and all the angels and stuff, like mostly Jesus now, the way he was always positive, going around giving great messages, helping sick, do you know what I mean? Fasting for causes, dying for people, like, not that you die for people, and it's like, that's not a great way for
you make sacrifice for people.
By making sacrifices for people, exactly. Like feeding, helping the poor, like helping the sick, just living by his ways as much as you can. That's how you get that positive dream. That's how you get your heaven. And God is the Spirit and the Holy Spirit. That is the dream again. Do you know what I mean? So God is part of heaven, part of your dream. Jesus is the way you get into heaven, and that's the way I've linked that all up.
Come on, Tom. Fair play to you.
That's beautiful, Tom.
So Tom is a good soul. That's Thomas. Tom went abroad to, was it Lourdes? Tom went over there, yeah?
Romania, man, yeah.
Romania, and he helped all the people over there. People that was sick, that was hungry, that was homeless. And how many weeks were you gone, Tom, the time?
I was over there, man, for 2 weeks, man, yeah.
He went with a few more lads, and he put his heart and soul into helping them in every possible way.
I enjoyed it. That was deadly, that was, yeah. Went over to a place in Romania called Slovakia, working in an orphanage. But, yeah, geez, there was a dark old place, no. Definitely was. There was, did you ever see you wanted to do a lot of kidnapping and bring as many children back as you could, man?
Yeah.
Even though I was only like 16, 17 at the time myself, like, Jesus. Like, it was in Europe, like, but you'd expect to see this in a real harsh third world, like, do you know what I mean? Probably it's rough part of the world, like, but you'd forget, like, it's still Europe and we're meant to be this upper class, progressive continent that's probably the most richest one of the whole lot of them.
Forgotten part of the world.
It's completely forgotten. These people is like stuck in rooms with 40-degree heat, man.
Jesus,
only getting brought out because we were there. And oh man, it was rough, man. Yeah, genuine. There was one poor child there, and from the neck down to the toes, the poor child, the mother set him on fire. she was a gypsy woman. She had mental health issues, God bless her. And like that woman did that, but instead of putting her into a mental health place to get help, she got put to jail. So that wasn't fixing on. You can imagine what their jails and what help you'd be getting in that. Like, yeah, children running around just sniffing bags of glue. Tempted to try it all.
Couldn't attention with a bag of glue.
Just want to see what the fuss was about, man.
See what was keeping them all there.
I was only meant to be there for 3 days.
Stuck around.
Stuck around, lads. It was a great experience. We'll go back again. Now, but money messing it was just a lot of hardship, but geez, like there was some contrast. You go from 60-70% of hardship, poor, a small bit of a middle class, and then a very, very big upper class, where everyone was going around in the best of Range Rovers, Porsches. So there was a very massive divide.
And this was all kind of in one connected area, like.
This was in Slobozia alone, but I drove part. Like I was working in like Mamaia, then I had to go to Bucharest, so we were going through different places, and you'd see them, man. There was just
so you've seen the good, the bad, and the.
You definitely seen the ugly, 100%.
As the fella said.
So you get a sense of, you get a bit of a thing called culture shock.
That's exactly what I got. Get told before you bring it home, before you come home on the plane, like leave it all there, because it is a bit of a weight, man. Listen to all their stories, and like to be nearly crawling out of you, grabbing you when you're leaving.
Yeah, you'd nearly take it like kind of personal, wouldn't you? Like you'd be mentally affected in different ways, wouldn't it?
Stop. It's not like you wouldn't like underestimate and say, "Oh, geez, like I'm broken, man," because what they went through. Like, but I was like, definitely with eyes wide open. Like, when I come back, I'm grateful for everything, man. I had a lot more appreciation, that kind of stuff, and my gratitude, man. Them little things kind of never forget. You never forget, like.
Yeah, once you click with gratitude, it's hard to go back and be negative or give out about stuff. And once you see that kind of division, like I brought lads from Ballymun to South Africa, and in the one day we seen millions of people living on the side of the road in huts. And that evening we seen millionaires living in apartment blocks. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Some divide, like.
And there's like a mile between them.
Well, I've been kind of fascinated about South Africa, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very kind of interesting country, like.
Is that the same place, Dean, where the elephant wouldn't let you out of the tent?
Yeah, that was in Botswana. You're basically out in what we would call the jungle. So how did you end up in Romania?
Doing a work placement with Exchange House with the youth team. Do you know what? That's what kind of got me interested in the course I'm doing today. But I went over there with they were doing a summer project. The lads who I went over, William and a few other lads, they went over in the 80s when Ceausescu, he was the dictator. I think it was the 80s, I don't know it was. But there was a HIV epidemic, was very, very bad. So what they did was went over in 3 campers full of all like non-perishable, like cans of food and they could kind of give to the people that
non-perishable stuff.
Yeah, because they're going straight. It could take like a week to drive over. I don't know.
And was it Travers you went with, Tom? Was it?
Yeah, Travers went to it this time. Yeah,
yeah.
There was one settled woman that went over, Emma. Yeah, but when they went over in the 80s.
So was this? Should I stop you from talking? Was this your mission basically? You went over to actually do that.
This is what the lads did in the 80s. They went over in campers and did that. We went over on the planes and we had modern comforts, like, do you know what I mean? When we went over, man, what we were doing, like, basically, we'd go in. And some people probably lived a couple of miles away from the beach and never went one. We were doing like a summer project. So one day we'd bring them to the beach and we'd spend the day there, have picnics and do all that type of stuff. Get them a few little toys and whatnot. Then the next day, then you'd probably go and bring them to Transylvania, went up to Dracula's castle and all that stuff, bring them all up to that. Just bring them all up around tourist spots around Romania where they probably never got to see before.
And some beautiful spots. And living in the middle of it.
Living there. And some of them like literally never saw the beach before. A shock, couldn't believe it, man. And when we were driving, like, it was no more than 40 minutes in the car probably, do you know what I mean? But no, they were shocked to see it, like. Probably never even saw a river before.
It just goes to show you how you think, like, speaking as travellers here, right? We really think sometimes you think you have things rough or nothing is right or one thing or another. But when you see other people and other experiences, like how people are going through and, of course, different parts of the world, whatever.
100%.
As you said, it really makes you be grateful for the little that you have, but you probably have a million times more than other people that are realising it.
Yeah, and luxury even there to have like your old parents and siblings there and living in a home, like, do you know what I mean?
Or Tom, even a bit of food.
Exactly.
Even down to a bit of food is look, it's probably the most important thing of all is having a bit of food.
Yeah, that's the truth. And shelter.
And they don't have that.
No, that's the last. No shelter, no food, no like protection. Or like even the people in the place now, like, I know, fair enough, like, it's probably hard to maintain and mind that many kids, but they really wadding up. Like, I know it's probably easy for me to judge living in Ireland and probably thinking of the resources our community places have. But they were doing nothing. Like, they had them stuck in rooms, man, in 40-degree heat, and they'd only come when we'd come. They'd be like, oh, quick, there they are there. get the kids down, do you know what I mean? So you wouldn't send to be out sweating, wearing, like, do you know what I mean? And some of them didn't even have shoes, so the first kind of day we went over, we all bought them sandals and stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, and, little footballs and whatever, like, just trying to make it a little bit more comfortable for them, like. Yeah, and I was saying, the lads that went over there in the 80s, they were going through checkpoints and getting taxed all the stuff they were bringing over. So the people, like, customs were like, not even customs, to be like, their police, and they were taking give me that sleeve, a box of cigarettes, give me the bread, and give me this, or whatever the people had in their own stuff as well, they were taking off. Any drink they had, then you can go to the next place.
Was that Travellers was doing that at the time?
Yeah, in the 80s, that was hard going in the 80s.
That was great work, wasn't it?
William McDonagh and all the lads, that was good for serious.
William and that,
yeah.
They're a great family, aren't they?
They're brilliant, man. Very, very, like, even his father, man,
good like that.
an amazing fella. He worked for the UN and all.
Yeah,
the United Nations. He worked in Cyprus, like. They even, like, Travellers were clever, like what I mean is, like, when they were doing all the tinsmith and stuff, but they were into education in the early 80s, man.
Yeah,
like, they were very, very smart people. Yeah, and man, like, you can help when they're just very, very well-spoken people.
Yeah,
like,
but they're also a lovely family at that.
100%. I never got to meet the father and mother, God rest them, but I heard they were the best.
I remember them. They were gentle man and woman, the best of putting it.
And it's half my energy's there, the sister
Lovely man and woman. But then they passed it on to the family, didn't they?
Yeah, they sound out 100%. The sister Kathleen herself, she's the soundest woman, the quietest woman. Does she get that vibe? Do you ever just get that pure, peaceful energy off someone? Well, that's exactly what you have when she goes into her. And never of any help I've ever asked for. I worked in there for over a year, like, so she's just deadly for obliging with everything. Yeah,
they're a well-respected family, though, aren't they?
Yeah, sound out, yeah.
If any episode of a podcast was worth doing, it's this one.
What's up today now?
Because you're a powerful man, Tom. You know what I mean?
Nice one, brother. Yeah. Nice
You're
one.
a powerful man.
Tom, tell me something. Did you
Hold on. Let's keep that energy. That's the energy. Give us your hand. What you're saying and what you're doing is what I know of travelling people, which most people don't. Most people think that people with your look and your voice and your heritage are the dirt of the dirt. And I only know 100% the opposite all the time. Now, I know occasionally groups of travellers batter each other and have violence and wreck pubs and all that. But there's settled people in this country are running gangs, running drug gangs, running political gangs, running big businesses and ripping the country off. But it's you, brother, who's the one who's turned away from a bleeding pub. And you're only doing good in this world. If nothing else comes from this podcast, this episode and this conversation, this is change.
It's very difficult, Dean, and I've actually said this in the previous documentary, there was this little snippet in. It's very, very difficult for me to go around and say, right, this is me, and I'm going to change for all travellers. I'm going to make everyone love travellers. So I don't agree with that perspective. I agree with it's Tom McDonagh, but if you can like me and start liking me, it might give you a chance of, well, listen,
get to know you.
There is some sort, like, they might just be open-minded then if they can just say, right, there's one good traveller, there's one noble traveller.
That's right.
And I can just change on it there, man, and just grow, and maybe to meet someone else down the line, and that might change their perspective. But I don't want to change, just look at all of us and change it for your perspective. It doesn't really work like that. It actually creates more divide trying to force them to like us. It doesn't work. Just be individually as travellers, be yourself, and try be, like, if you're appreciated, good and well, and if you're not, look, probably not so problem.
There's only so much that you can do, though.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So try show the best reflection of yourself. If you know you're doing the very, very best, then you can't be at fault for it.
As long as you know that, say, deep inside yourself, you know you're not the problem. The problem is the person that's judging you, but obviously judging you way in the wrong. So they're losing out in, say, let's say the reality of the person that they're actually judging by not even knowing them, for starters. Like Dean said there, Tom, about you, he said in different ways. You are a good lad, no doubt about that. And yes, if people knew you, there's loads of yous out there.
Exactly, there's loads.
There's loads of fellas with your personality, your attitude in life. And not everyone gets a chance to speak up, we all know that. People don't take the time to get to know yourself, or people like you, say, good lads in the travelling community that has the same attitude as yourself, which is good. This where this wrong judgment comes in and completely damages the whole environment.
And it kind of sometimes like a poison, man. Kind of like the more you let it in you, it will grow and get stronger, and it spreads. But listen, I want to be 100% honest, as Dean said there, travellers sometimes aren't the best painters, man. They paint themselves in the worst way possibly with their videos and stuff like that. I know it's only a small fraction, but it's how we know ourselves it gets blown up. We know that. It's not pointing saying, it gets blown up. We know that already. So I reckon personally, travellers kind of, hopefully, please God, like just remember that what goes online stays online.
Yeah, but don't forget a lot of travellers have this attitude in their own, not through their own faults, how they're mistreated. And they have this set in their minds, look at, this is never going to change.
Exactly, 100%.
No matter how hard you try.
I've seen it too a lot of times.
And let's be, as far as I'm concerned, 90% of travellers has that attitude. In their own, they have themselves told.
What's the point?
Nothing's ever going to change. What's the point of doing this? What's the point of doing that? Like you said there about the pub earlier on, yeah? There's loads of people, even like myself, I hate the thought of going around the door of a pub because it's a battle alone trying to get in that door and trying to find a seat if you get in the door and thinking any second, the chances are you might get your first pint as a very odd chance. But at the same time, now I'm not a drinker anyway and I don't really care for a drink. But that doesn't mean the odd time I'd love to go out and chill out and relax and have an old chat with the wife for a bit of food and all the stuff like that there, or say the young lads, whatever. When you get that thought into your head of even going out, instantly there's a barrier there right in your face.
Well, that's a generation thing. He has it. I have that too.
And loads of travellers feel the same way.
100%, and that's
because when you talk to travellers, look, we all know the crack too well. We all chat each other. I know it's a waste of time trying that place. What about such a place? No, he'll waste time around there. He won't. He put such a fella out there last week. What about another place? No, absolutely. Not in a million years they won't serve. It's the same kind of words getting used all the time. And it pushes them back. And it hasn't changed. Without a doubt. I don't care what anybody says it hadn't changed. And they can put all the legislations they want on paper. It hasn't changed absolutely nothing. It's still the same as it always was. And as a matter of fact, parts of it has even got worse. We all know that some parts of it now is even worse again.
It's definitely still a form of acceptable discrimination because they're usually the same race for all Irish most of the time because it's not really other minorities discriminate against travellers. I have never really seen it myself now, to be honest. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Most Irish people don't see you as Irish.
Yeah, 100%.
That's mad, isn't it?
It is mad and it's sad, but I'll tell you the reason why, and I swear to God, this is something I've always wanted to do and hopefully going to end up doing. Is testing enough traveller people's blood to prove that we were the first oldest blood in Ireland. And it's already been a small bit of it done and a small bit proven already. There wasn't enough people done for it to prove it. You get me? It's very expensive to do and you have to get a lot of volunteers that want to do it. It'll take time, effort, money, but I think it'll be very, very worth it because it'd make you angry to know it, but I know it in my heart already.
So basically, if it turns out that travellers existed first in Ireland.
But this is our country, no offence.
It's a case there then where...
But everyone's welcome, Dean, for you.
With all due respect to you, Dean, everyone is welcome.
So I know...
It's a case then where...
I know I'm traveller. I know my family's west of Ireland. Vagabond is on my great-great-grandfather's birth cert. So I know I'm traveller and I've no shame whatsoever in saying it. I'm embracing the fact that we were a country of nomads and we were settled by the British. Yeah. That's the way I see it.
So if that comes back, Tom, then as say travellers existed in Ireland first before the countryman, sorry Dean, the countryman, yeah. So are we looking at a case then where the homeboy got in and took over?
Exactly.
So the homeboy now was the countryman.
He walked in when we were all asleep and took over.
He got in and took over. That's what happened. He took over the dwelling, yeah?
They took over. Basically, what happened was, man, they came in with gifts.
You've heard that saying, Tom, when the homeboy gets in, he takes over.
And the travellers, they're making their tea and sandwiches. They went in and wrecked the whole place and took it over.
Maybe give that fire a kick or something and put that black pot or kettle up in the air. And probably grab the bar to follow you up.
Trying to shoe on the horses, burning the wagons.
Hey, who do you think you are? Where do the travellers come from?
I wonder how long it was. It a long battle? I don't know now.
It is a long battle. Probably a couple of 100 years because it's still going on.
It's still going, Martin, 100%.
It hasn't stopped.
But I don't think, look, again, I see Ireland getting more and more, they're more multicultural. I don't know if they're more accepting.
More welcoming, is it?
More welcoming, no, but more accepting the travellers, more like appreciating them. There's none of that there. There's more people coming in, and I think it's still the focus is on the minorities. Mostly travellers still, but it's starting to shift a little bit and it's going off travellers a tiny bit.
So the eye is going off the traveller.
Just a bit,
and it's going on the military-aged, refugee, black male and so on.
In the media, I think that's
there's a bit of a difference in certain ways because Although if a person came from Poland, if a person came from Nigeria, if a person came from Russia, if a person came from America, if a person came from any part of the world into Ireland, there's a chance that they have a little bit, or maybe a lot, but at least a little bit more education than the traveller person has. And then it allows them to be able to talk up for themselves and pick the right words when they're up against their opponents. Like our opponents now would be the people that would be discriminating against you. Like
people in power,
do you know what I mean?
Run the whole country.
We shouldn't call them opponents, but that's how it is.
Even there, like again with God rest the people in Carrickmines, like really what made me get. I love Ireland. I'm Irish. I'm an Irish traveller. Take away traveller from me is taking away Irish. I'm nobody then.
Yes.
And both of them intertwined, whatever. But what really, really opened my eyes and broke my heart was when the Carrickmines fire happened. And when them people were short on accommodation on a short-term notice, they needed somewhere quick to go because 10 family members after burning in the fire. Like, do you know what I mean? You haven't got time to figure out where you're going to go. So they were looking for a quick temporary site. And the whole area, including politicians, went out protesting it.
Went against it,
out protesting against travellers.
While the embers were still warm on the caravans.
Like, their bodies are probably still charred inside the... I don't know, I'm sorry for being so graphic, but it is what it is.
Well, them
and
people, Tom,
did that.
God rest the poor people that passed away, and God may give them a bed in heaven. But no, the other people that's there now, say the other travellers.
I worked with some of them, and
say if there's another 100 travellers... I'll just pick Bray, for instance, right? If there's 100 travellers living around Bray, in the next 50, 60, 70 years, and all of them have passed away, they're going to be probably buried in Bray. And you know all the people that's living in Bray with the big mansions, the discriminators, that hated the travellers that was in that area, they're going to be buried in the same graveyard.
Exactly, yeah, 100%.
And with a bit of luck, if they're lucky, they might get a ticket to heaven, no one knows. But they have to answer for their actions while they lived beside these travellers, and while they hated them for the length that they were living beside them. So the traveller has a 10 times better chance of getting his ticket to heaven a lot quicker than the man that actually hated him.
Yes, that's the truth. And the hate's in your heart, it's hard to get accepted into it. But when you see your state, and when you see the people who's meant to govern for you, meant to be the people as your voice. Now, I know travellers, not many going out voting. Get out and vote. Be the voice. Then they might start trying to please you then. When you see the people who's meant to be governing you doing that, then you know you're in trouble. And no matter your people not really getting on with you, but when the people who's meant to be setting the rules, meant to be making it fair for you and them, when they're against you, you're in for it, man. And it's been in for a long, long, long time. You probably heard a lot more of me, man, the cruelty, man, years ago. Like, things like that, if they're caught there, they take your children, man, for nothing. All that type of stuff, like I know even my own wife's grandmother, there's a little story how there was discrimination, racism. Well, I think it was discrimination anyway, but maybe it's my wife's grandmother, or great-grandmother be now, went in to get a sup of water. Don Connors did a little bit of a yoke about it before, as well, down Clonmel, and she got a sup of water, but asked the man for sup at the farm for sup of water, but he told her no, go down to the river and get it out of the river. But she went down to get it out of the river, but she slipped. And she was having a child, and she had a child in her arms, so she treated him drowned, but she pushed back me wife's grandfather, now was dead, God rest him too, and he was the only survivor, him and his father. But for years then they were like kind of hiding from that cruelty, man, in case this man wouldn't be able to mind him. If you saw my wife's grandfather, if you ever got to meet him and know how beautiful of a man he was, his father must have done some job. But anyway, like, that was a fear he had for years. A single man couldn't mind this young lad, and he would have been took. So they literally lived like beside the road, and they'd hear, the cruelty man was here, and they'd go hiding again, and for years they were hiding, man. And all they had was each other, like. So the fear is there,
and
man.
These were government rules, basically.
Government rules, and if they're making the rules, it says, and it's not a fair playing field, as bad as we're already like kind of half disadvantaged, and if the rules are against you.
It wasn't just rules; it was legislation. It was law.
Yeah.
It was the Itinerancy Act.
I heard about that before, and everybody got into it. You know why? Because the more you learn about these things, the more disheartened you get, and had like, I don't know. Sometimes you kind of. You just ignore on purpose because you hate to think these people will do that, man.
I've had that experience with Martin, and Martin would be like, I'm not comfortable with this. What is that whole history? And the cruelty man was basically child welfare officer.
Yeah, that was all it was. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And they were taking children off the street and bringing them down to industrial schools. Yeah. And the industrial schools were set up by the state to get kids to work, to do stuff like make and mend shorts and shoes and suits for politicians and for bishops and all that type of stuff. And that's hard to hear that our own state would do that to not just travelling people but settled children as well.
They got a rough last of it too. And do you know what it was? It was all these type of areas that got the rough blood force for. It was a class thing too. So as much as it was travellers, I think like the likes of what they see here is the lower class at them times. We send them up and probably down to Artane and all that.
It's like a case where people with authority, basically, are supposed to be looking after the people, but yet they're the worst, they're the biggest enemies. They make themselves the biggest enemies, the best way of putting it, because they simply don't care, and that's how it is.
But how are they always
care
get
about
voted
themselves,
in?
that's all.
Say that again?
They're always getting voted back in. So
well, as you go back to your point, that lower class or that traveller class don't vote.
True, 100,000,000%.
It's time they get voted back in because it's corruption. That's why they get voted back in. So they're literally, I know it's a silly way to bring it out, literally voting themselves back in. They're buying their votes. They're buying everything they can buy to make power for themselves, along with the power that they already have.
But you know what I find funny though, hilarious, is when you see them coming around when the election time does be on, and
it's crazy.
The only time you're ever going to see them for the next 5 years.
So I heard your man today on the radio, Simon Coveney, because there might be an election by the end of the year, general election by the end of the year, and it looks like that Sinn Féin could be in power. For the last 100 years since the establishment of the state, 1923, it's 2023 now, we've had Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael in. So Simon Coveney, who was the Minister for Housing when I done Apollo House, and he was the fellow who came out and says, by the end of 1 year, we'll have all families out of hotels. And then I think about 2 months later, he got a different job. He got promoted to the Minister for Foreign Affairs or something like that. And then he was at that job for a couple of bleeding years, and then he got put onto something else.
So basically he's climbing the ladder, man, the social ladder, cokes and everyone.
And when it gets too hot in the kitchen, they just move them to a different place.
That's
or
right.
we made too many promises, they just moved them to a different place, and they'll move someone else in. So there's a game that they've set up that they have all the rules. And one of the things I've been trying to say to Martin for the last 2 or 3 years is, if we play their game by their rules, they're always going to win.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And what you've sussed out is, Tom, you've started to come up with your own rules. And one of them rules is push past and bust past and break past all of those limitations that we've set upon ourselves. And if I do that for me, well, then my children might have a different future.
So anymore now, we need a big old protesting in Dublin City Council. I want to get Tom up the front line.
He's mad for an out protest.
Okay,
He's the man, bro. He wants to shut the city down.
Martin wants a protest, Dean wants to riot. Do you know what I mean?
I want to have Tom's face.
Do you say the riot or the riot?
Bit of both.
Riot. We're going to have Tom on big posters now, hopefully next week, and his picture on the sides of buses and all
And
that.
do you know what they're going to be saying? Oh, that fella's wanted, man. Do you know what I mean? What? That's
Dublin City
what we're
Council,
gonna
just to
find out,
warn you, Dublin City Council, Martin is planning to shut the whole city down because you have 60-70 odd million quid, you haven't spent a fucking penny on
That's
it.
the truth. You're just handing it back. But look, and they look for more fun than somewhere else. Like, Jesus Christ, it's crazy, isn't it?
Cool.
Oh, it's class, all right.
Tom, tell me something I meant to ask you earlier on as well. I know you done your junior cert, is that right?
Mm.
Did you do your leaving cert?
No, I left in 6th year, man, yeah. For probably the stupidest reason, but also this reason is probably the reason why I'm doing all the shit I'm doing now. But
So are you gonna do it again? No, or can you do it
no,
again?
I'm actually, see what happened was when I left, didn't do my leaving cert, I did a York and Liberties College for a year. That was a similar to the leaving cert.
Right, very
That
good.
got me into this college here now that I'm in the last 3 years. TU Blanchardstown, doing community and youth development.
And is that a degree or?
Degree, yeah.
Well done.
Nice one, brother. Nice
How long
one.
have you got to do that for?
Well, I have this year to do, man, and be fully qualified, but I'm going to do level 8 next year, the bachelor's one, please, God. I'm there somewhere as well.
And if you want to do your masters in it, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I'm having a discussion with a university about getting funded a number of masters and degrees for people in Ballymun. And I'm also having a chat with DCU about how we help travellers progress in education. So if any travellers out there are interested in progressing their education, get in touch.
Yeah, good man, 100%. And even like apprenticeships, any stuff like that there, just get involved, get it going. There's no harm in having a trade. There's no harm in being a small bit of... You can be smart, but just being educated, knowing how to say it, when to say it. And look, it's just for your own benefit as much as your family's like. It is. I'm going to this college out here. I'm the first of my family and friends. I wish there was the 1,000 fella doing it. But please God, within the next couple of years, I'll be the first of 500 fellas doing it. 500 women.
And I say that college is the better for having someone like you there.
I went in there first. I didn't have a clue. I had no one to ask, how do you do this or that? I had no one at all. I was going in there like, you know what I mean? Like a child, I hadn't got a clue. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was under severe pressure. I didn't know where I was going. I was late for classes. I didn't even know where the classes was, to be
You were
honest.
lost, basically.
So one day I just got in my car and I swear to God, this is the truth. I said, I'm out of here. I said, I'll come back next year, but I'll learn within the next year, it says, how to go about college. So I was flying it out anyway. It was a long little drive out, and I swear to God, I was coming out by the roundabout and I says to myself, I said, you know what, I'm definitely not coming back here. So I admitted to myself I wasn't coming back. And within that split second, I was like, fuck that. I'm not coming back. If I'm not coming back, then I'm never going to do it. So I went back around the roundabout, straight in. And took
Back
it
into
again.
it?
Yeah, I took it again back into the second
When
class.
did this happen, Tom?
This had the first year that I was in this class. When I was in Liberty.
Is this the college you're in now?
Yeah. The one I was doing online, that was during COVID. I was at home. I had all the
So you,
comforts.
you done all your schoolwork when you were younger, basically.
Yeah.
But you decided to start this college again now.
Yeah.
Restart your college. And this was happened to you as soon as you went into it, is it?
Yeah, I was in, see, I did the first year.
How long was that? 3 years ago?
No, the first time I went into college was Liberty's College. It was during COVID, so everything was kind of online.
Yes.
I had comforts of being at home with me
So
coffee.
you didn't have to deal with the people and the classes and
go
the
all
building.
through all that. And then trying to adjust that the next year, so I was under severe pressure, so I'm leaving, I'm definitely not
You were
doing
having a
this.
little mini panic attack, were you?
Yeah, but I really was sitting on it. And then I just back around.
You turned back around again and back into
I
it.
swear my life, and I'm back in, and I said, you know what? It says, if I'm gone, if I go, I'm not going to be satisfied. But if I give it a good go, and that type of fella, like, I will have to satisfy myself before I can say, shit, I want to try my best.
You were determined.
Then I can feel happy, then relaxed. So I went in, and it took me about a month and a half, I'm not going to lie. I've done that exact same thing for the
Yeah,
first
into the
week.
rhythm, kind of.
And now it's just like,
Was there no
normal.
one there to ask to help you in some way?
Man, it probably was, but there was like, I was a very, like, you can see me chatting on this here, Paddy, like, I am a very, very good person, going in chatting people, I will make friends with anyone, but
Yeah.
I made that very, very awkward for myself.
Yes.
I made my own person, everyone had their cliques and all, and I was kind of not really getting in. And then I learned that during that then, like, when I was under pressure, like, I'd be ashamed to ask them a question in case it was a stupid question. That was most of the things. I'd be ashamed, in case, like, thought this fella's a traveller that didn't have a clue what he was doing.
Yes.
So that was just my little notion in my head that I had no need to have, do you know what I mean? So that kind of held me back from asking these questions. Then I was like, if I don't ask, I'm not going to know. And sometimes when you ask the tutors, like, they get asked in the question, like, they'd help you as well, but sometimes they probably expect it, like, how would you not know? That's basic common sense. It wasn't for me. I hadn't got a clue. After a month and a half, got a little bit of a routine of it. And well settled in now, if I have a question, boom, straight on the WhatsApp group, email to the tutors, go in face to face, anything I need now, I'll go and look for it, like my help.
So you have that confidence to do all
It's
of
the
it
confidence, man. That's what it is. I got
And tell me,
confidence.
so what encouraged you to actually go back to college in the first place after so many years?
When I was telling him went over to Romania and all, a year later then I was working in Exchange House, I met my wife, and the two of us kind of I just got married and just kind of left the work, to be honest. I was kind of
Right.
like, do you know what, I got married, I'll have kids and I'll do that way about it. But I kind of always had the hunger to still go back and learn and do all that. Then I was getting tortured by the dole office to get a job. They kept emailing me. And I swear to God, I went down law of attraction again because I've always wanted to go to college. And I was sitting in the dole office, or the job centre, sorry, and I had something about an open day in Liberty's College. So I said to the woman, instead of finding me a job, can you get me on that course? And she says, yeah, I'll try. And that was a fluke, and from that then, it was like snowballed, and 3.5 years, 4 years later.
Fair play to you.
So you had the balls to put your name in the hat and ask the question, ask your woman something simple. Can I put myself in for that? And I have found you can put yourself in for anything. If you don't know it's there, it's hard
Yeah,
to
that's the only thing.
realise that. So the awareness of it is the first thing. What is out there that's possible for me to do? And then who do I have to ask the question, can I get me name on that? And I have found there's no stupid questions. Like, I've done a degree in computer science, and when I was doing that, the most difficult mathematics in the world is just small little things all added together. Really simple things all added together. And that's all you're doing. You're, right, how do I get a pencil case? How do I sharpen my pencil?
basically,
Where
bit
do I
by
get
bit.
paper from? How do I start writing? Do I go left to right or right to left? Basic stuff. And you just build it up slowly.
You're basically upskilling yourself without even knowing to do. You're struggling to do it, but when you do it once, then like you'll remember to do it the second time. Then you have no harm doing it ever again. Do you know what I mean? And you learn yourself, and gradually, without meaning to do it, like, you'll become well able to do it. Like, and thank God, since I'm in there, I passed every one of my exams. Never failed. I failed one because I was late in the deadline and did a repeat and passed it. But over every one of them, thank God I passed every one of them, yeah.
Fair play to you, Tom. It's very, very good. And did you get to know people in there now? You did.
Yeah, a lot of people in there, a lot of the fellas in the classes. I've seen 1 or 2 travellers popping up in there, and I'm very glad to see this. See one young, well, he's actually a friend of mine, but he's working for the council now. You know, he's Dublin City Council. He's actually a good man for the people. He's done the plumbing course and all in the college. And he's the first traveller I've ever seen doing like that there, so I praise him. He's brilliant for that. And there's another young one who's doing the exact same course I am, but she's like 2 years ahead of me. And I never knew this till I was well settled in the college, because I wouldn't have an issue if I went up and asked this, because she's actually, you can sound out, she's like an old and elderly woman. Like, she has more, she'd be a bit more like wiser to explain this to me. Do you know what I mean? She would have more awareness at the start. Yeah, she would have helped me. I think I would have been a great person to go and ask for help. Like,
you're still quite young. You are where you are. I didn't do my degree until I was 40 years of age. So you are where you are. I think what you're doing is the right attitude, though. You're grabbing it. You're grabbing the opportunities, not just in college and in your education. God knows what you'll get into.
So, Tom, do you feel confident enough now to sort of try out anything you want, basically? Like, for instance, if someone asked you tomorrow morning, now, Tom, would you like to do a nice big play? Would you do it?
I probably like...
Someone said to you, Tom, would you like to part in a nice film here? Would you do it?
Yeah, I probably would. To be honest, I'm very like...
What I mean is, do you feel that level of confidence where you nearly say, yes, I'll go for it?
Yeah, I kind of do, man. I kind of just don't really care no more. Like, not that I don't care. Like, obviously you have...
What was you caring about? Were you caring about what travellers taught you? Is that it?
A lot of stuff and issues with travellers comes from outside the community. But there's a lot of it that's definitely inside the community too.
Yeah.
And you worry about what people might think. Now, I learned after a while, people doesn't actually think that.
Yes.
Swear to God, especially...
And it's none of your business.
Like, yeah, is that all bad?
Like, some people, like, you might play, like, for example, for myself there, like, an issue that I used to have as well when I was 17, like, going to secondary school, like, in a traveller age, you could nearly be married at that time, right? But a lot of pressure for young traveller men to get married. Well, my age group I probably was anyway. Like, when I used to come home from school, I used to hide my school bag in the locker. And I come home with no school bag. I'd have my jacket zipped up so you wouldn't be able to see me school jumper. And all you'd be able to see is me slacks and slip-ons. People probably been on going to school, but for me, that was like, I was hiding it, do you know what I mean? So I was actually hiding that I was going to school.
So you were ashamed to say that you're going to school exactly, at 16 or 17 years of age.
I thought I should have been a man.
Every other young lad was dropping now, 12 and 13 and 14 and 15.
A few years beforehand, over me holding out that extra bit. And it actually got to me. Like, that's the reason why I quit.
So that put pressure on you as well, it did?
Oh, it was a lot of pressure, man. That was a serious one.
But you still wanted to go forward.
Yeah, like, even like for the times where you'd have your exams and you'd have to walk through the site with the school bag because you'd have studying to do. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to get through there as quick as you can. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Well, they walk through the Bronx.
Do you know what I mean? But
and you might be just doing when one person just spots you the last second.
Where are you?
What story, Tom? What are you up to?
But for all them times, like, again, that's what they would be saying. What are you doing? How's things? Like, they wouldn't be saying, what are you wearing? That? But in
Did
your
you ever
head,
get that one person where he'd be like deliberately trying to highlight you, like?
No, I got one person that basically, and she probably played a part in me actually quitting school. And she said, you always like what I was. Like, probably, I don't know.
Was she bullying you, Tom?
She never really liked me, did she? But, she's sound anyway. But she says to me, geez, it's hard for you to be a man. I'm wearing a school bag, isn't it? Like,
you're playing two jobs at once.
I was like, what?
Two roles.
You know what? You're right. It is just fucking difficult, man.
It's difficult, especially with fucking people like you.
It was very. And
it's hard for you.
It's kind of hard for you to be a man. I act like a man. Sorry, you're acting. So I wasn't even a man. I was only acting like the man, and you're wearing a school bag. So she was very, very confused, looking at me like that.
Did you throw the school bag far away?
Yeah, the school bag got put off. I quit school, and that was it, man.
She had you with the words anyway.
She hated Tom.
She got me lovely.
But you were probably doing half the damage in your own head.
Was she in the school, Tom? She was.
No, she wasn't. This woman was an elderly, like I don't want to give no more hints.
Where'd you meet her on the way home from school?
It was a traveller woman.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, Lord.
It was, yeah. But
destroyed your career there and then.
And do you know what? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Good luck, lads. My school days are over.
School days over. Come on, young Tom. Get it over them boys.
Where's Tom gone? We don't see him walking across the site no more. And the school bag threw up on top of the community hall.
And the uniform and the whole lot was just gone, done and dusted, man. Oh, gee. And then, do you know what? She caught me there. That was like giving me a big slap right around the face and wrapped around the ear twice. Like, you know, man, you got me good. She was right though, isn't she?
But did she give you any motivation to?
She did my yards. I quit straight away.
She destroyed.
I quit straight away.
Confidence there and then.
Because it was a good question. Like, it was one of them, like, mad philosophical questions. You're like, Jesus,
Then he
man.
said, he
For
said,
travelling over just to think of that, how the fuck was I balancing that the whole
and
time?
for
You know
the
what I
next 2 years, he said, he made up his mind, he said, I'm going to make her pay for that. He started knocking on her door and running every night. She had to go up off the seat and answer the door. He was gone.
Did you not use that as motivation when you were going around the roundabout in college going, see that fucker, I'm going to prove her wrong.
Do you know what? Actually, I forgot
He
to do
wasn't
that.
going around the road. He was looking to ram her down with the car.
Yeah, I've had to get her. She was done. Nah, but she's long gone now and not dead now. Jesus, like.
So I don't see her anymore. That's good
I don't
enough.
really see her anymore. No, actually, I haven't seen her in about 20 years. Well, look at about, give or take,
It's
10
hard
years.
for you to be a man and that's good.
Like, I don't know, was she curious or what angle was she? So she actually would question me, like, how are you doing it? Or was she like, Jesus Christ, will you cop the fuck on, will you? I think it was the latter.
You're a traveller, what's wrong with you?
What are you doing, you soft bastard? Yeah. Go out there and peel copper head. What? I had to go and peel the copper, you know what I mean? So if you want to
She
blame
left your eye off, Tommy. She two words.
She left me. Oh, how
It was
was
worse
it?
than Tyson Fury bringing you into the ring and giving you a beating.
Do you know what, man? Do you know what? That would have been physical baiting. Do you know the mental baiting that she gave me, yeah? Still to this day, I'm recovering from it. It had me traumatized.
Two words.
She stripped the
Go on,
copper
Tom.
out of you, Tom.
Take the opportunity to tell you to forgive her. Go on.
Do you know what? I forgive you, Mama. Mommy, I forgive you, yeah. I know
All
you
is
didn't,
forgiven,
I know
Tom's
you didn't
going home.
really
I'm
mean it.
cleaning up her clothes.
I said, Mommy, I have a few more things to
I'm
apologize for.
sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry,
Well, I'm
Mommy,
on it.
about
There's a few more things I have to get on my chest.
No, I just
Oh,
said
my God.
a few more things I have to say, but look, don't know. I don't know if being recorded was a safe place to say it, you know? Dean could get you locked up.
Give her a chance, Tom. Give her a chance. You said enough about her, whoever she was. We don't want no names
I
anyway.
think I'm after saying it already. Mama.
Oh, my God.
She got me going now, anyway.
So what's the dream, Tom?
The very end goal is to be very, very satisfied with my accomplishment. Very satisfied in life by I could not have material things like housing, but I want to be established, have my own setup, my own family place where they can all come and be there around me when I'm growing old. Do you know what I mean? Space for every one of them there. An accomplished life, and to die in bed with my shoes off, relaxed. That's all wanted, man. And to keep them, look, as I keep the missus happy.
Why are the shoes off? Did you give them to somebody or you want to give them to somebody?
I'll tell you why, man. I remember seeing this in a film before and it was very true. About dying with your shoes off. It's the more, like, you're not going to be driving around with your shoes on, are you? You're not going to crash your car with your shoes off. You're not going to drown, swim with your shoes off. Well, maybe you will, jeez. Never thought of that. I can't swim. I
think you've thought this plan out.
Do you know what? We never think into it, man, do we? Travellers, we only scratch the surface, and if it's a good idea, we go all in on it, like, Jesus Christ. We're
All
the
in,
worst
Donny.
gamblers
All
ever,
in,
man.
Donny Brasco.
All in.
One day at a time, Tom. One day at a time is good.
One day I had time, man, and do you know what? And do you know another thing I've learned in life? You really, really, really don't know what's ahead. Good things, bad things. Be very happy for what you have and what you don't have. Sickness and all health like that. There's a lot of people dying and passing away. There's a lot of things happening to people. God bless
Be
everyone.
happy in the moment, as the fellow would say.
Tom, it's an honour and a privilege, honestly, to have you on. You made me laugh, you made me cry, you made me think, you made me dream for a time where we just see each other as brothers and sisters.
Well, we'd be saying right if we called him the Mercury man, yeah. The Mercury.
yeah.
The stars is his limit, is it? The stars is the limit from.
I just want to break free, man.
I don't think there's any limit. I don't think there's any limit for you, Tom.
Well, hopefully not, Dean, man.
I think you're at the breaking the speed limit with what you're doing, with the choices you're making. And I can only imagine the future that your children are going to have.
Yeah, that's it, Dean. Thank you very much, you and man, for having me on. I'll continue listening. Very good to be a part. And hopefully, please God down the line and come back on again. I might have an old interesting story to tell you.
Anyway, that's episode 47, yeah? Bridie's Tom. He's actually better known, I said earlier on, he's better known as Bridie's Tom. He explained today his grandmother literally reared him.
She's done an amazing job and she's at it instilling some wisdom in you. You're very articulate. You can say what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then some with a little bit of feeling, a little bit of pizzazz about you. You know what I mean? There's something really, really nice. And I think that you might have got that from her, from your upbringing. Fair play to her. Fair play to your nanny for putting in the love and the time and the energy and the encouragement and the support and the getting you up out of bed.
That's genuinely what it was, man. Do you know, like, I used to think we were millionaires growing up because I had everything. No one would look back now to realise, geez, like, and she's the reason, like, a lot of boundaries, like, the stuff I live by today, like, I won't do certain stuff or whatever. That's because when I was young, I'd know not to do it because she was like, do you know what, she was just a good rearing. And even to this day, like, she still gives you pointers. I still go up there and talk to her and all, do you know what I mean? We have our old chats and stuff like that there. She still never changed. She's still me nanny, like, do you know what I mean? Slagging you, buzzing off you. Always trying to force food down your neck. Oh, never done. Even though you're married and all this, it doesn't matter. Look, I would never tell her stop. That's the reason. I'd be like telling her to cut apart if it was her arm off or something. She's not stopping, like. I wouldn't change it for the world anyway, so.
Oh, come here for a second. She climbed the reek last week, didn't she?
Couldn't believe it myself, man.
A legend,
What age is
70.
she?
Yeah, she's 70,
71, isn't she?
71 or 72. 71, I think, yeah.
And she climbed the reek.
She's climbing barefoot, Crop Arctic.
Oh, yeah,
Dean,
barefoot.
come on now. I think you're asking for a little bit too much there altogether.
Gosh, she actually did on a handstand the whole. She can't walk all the way up, man.
That's a countryman again. You never go from Tom,
And she
did you?
tumbled back down, like, come on, like, go shoes.
Come on now, Dean. Come on, you're really. 71 years of age. She walks up the reek with no cane, stick or nothing, and you ask her, did you hand crawl?
Like, and still, like, I had to
I don't
find
believe
out
it.
that it was the top, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very, very, very proud of her. Fair
Have
play
you done
to
it
her.
yourself?
I've done it twice before, yeah.
Yeah, I've done it twice. It's a tough old climb.
It's not easy now. The second time I did it, I got
And
a
you
lot
know
harder.
something else now, I don't want to say how much it is. She doesn't mean the greatest of health at times. Poor old thing. She done legendary work, to be honest about it.
I say she was gassed for a smoke on the way up. She smokes for 80 cigarettes today as well. She probably sweating for one on the way up. I'd say she probably even had one on the way up. I'm really surprised with her.
We'll have to do it, Martin, me and you together.
I wouldn't be able to do it, Dean. I'm
Well,
ashamed
if
to
that
say.
woman can do it barefoot, you could do it.
Come here.
We'll put you in a wheelbarrow.
If she doesn't motivate us, nothing ever will.
Have you ever done Loch man? No.
Lockdorg, yeah, I
I
done it
heard
twice.
that's, if you want to test
Oh, that's a
yourself
spiritual
penance.
experience.
Did you ever do it, Tom?
No, man.
I done it twice, yeah.
Yeah, man. Tough going, bro.
Lockdorg is a 3-day pilgrimage, basically. You're fasting for 3 days, you're praying for 3 days, you're on your bare feet for the 3 days. Everything you do is all about penance. You get the best sleep. When I say the best sleep that you ever got in your entire life, you get that in Lockdorg. Because you're waking up, you're all night awake, basically, and then when it comes around to the next night, you're allowed to go to your dormitory, they call it, and sleep. The minute you hit the pillow,
Gone.
you're out. You literally don't even have a dream till next morning. Anyone will tell you that is the best sleep that you ever got in your entire life.
I'd like to go and do it. Not like I'd like to go farm for challenging, but I heard like genuinely it's a very, very rewarding experience when I have to go in there,
It's
man. Do you know what I mean?
it's nothing exactly to be afraid of. It is a beautiful experience. When you come off the island, you're literally a different person in a cleansed way, if you know what I mean. You literally feel like a feather.
Vibing.
It's
Like go and
it's-
recharge the batteries, get more in line with God,
It's
more faith.
you could call it It's a hard.
You need it to be hard, man. It's like for
But
the
as I said, it's rewarding and it's beautiful in the end. If you were ever going home, if you say unless you were bringing your woman with you, if she wasn't up for going, bring a couple of lads with you because you're giving them a great experience as well. You know what I
it'd be
mean?
deadly to go 100% to
nice.
it. It'd be nice to go just to try it out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Probably
we
break
talked
me.
about it on this before with a mate of ours, Richie, who's probably going to come to St. Margaret's soon and do a film. So if he is, I'll give you a shout for it. But we talked about doing ayahuasca, and it's a similar kind of thing. You go on a journey, basically. That's what that pilgrimage is on Loch Derg. It's a journey inwards, you know.
Yeah, inside your soul and heart, yeah, and cleanse it out. What's story that ayahuasca? I heard that before. Is that like a trip up a buzz or something?
It's like a plant medicine,
Sounds interesting. That.
and you basically go on a journey back inside. Comes from a Peruvian and Amazonian forest, yeah. But it'd be their version of a pilgrimage of medicine. It's kind of like the magic mushrooms here, the liberty caps here. It's kind of like that. We have that in our natural land. And they're basically medicine to allow you to go on an internal pilgrimage. And Loch Derg is the same thing.
So basically, Loch Derg was more of a one without the actual substance. You're doing it like,
Yeah, and when you do the substance actually tells you don't really need those.
yeah.
It's like a little key, but you don't actually need the key. It's there once you open yourself to it.
So if you're taking this medicine, your ayahuasca or whatever you call it, are you
sounds the
are you
curve
running on the
straight
road
away.
with beads in your hand and praying on your bare feet and staying up all night?
You are on your bare feet. You can have a rosary beads if you want. You are.
No, but I'm just saying, do you?
Yeah. There are more
Is there
like
prayers involved?
yeah, but they're not called
Chants.
prayers. Chants. They're called icaros.
So basically, do you know that stuff you were saying that can be found in Peru and all?
Yeah.
That's their equivalent to what we have naturally here. That grows over there. Why is that so popular of experience? Why did not come from all over the country to come to Ireland to take them ones? Is ayahuasca different or something?
Well, people do come from all over Ireland to do the one that we have here.
Was the Irish just going there to experiment it, or
Well, a couple of people I know travelled there, and then they invited those people to Ireland.
The whole procedure, can you do that? Can you carry that out in Ireland? Does it involve a scenery or a location or what?
Well, it's best done kind of in a remote location in nature. We went in the woods. We were in a place, but you can do it in the woods as well.
The woods, the forest.
Yeah. Kind of in nature.
I don't know. It might sound like I'm talking against it. I'm not. To me, it sounds a bit strange that you have to actually go to find a woods or a forest to carry out. If it's a herb, can you not take it on a beach or
it's
on
like
a hill?
Loch Derg. One of the reasons Loch Derg works is because it's remote.
Yeah, that's right. Because of the quietness of it around it. Like the main reason was because St. Patrick went there years and years and years and years ago, and he went onto this island to actually for peace, to pray in quietness, basically. You're indoors and outdoors because of the weather permitted.
And that's exactly the same as this experience.
Look, Dean, I'm going to leave you to your ayahuasca. I'm going to stick with Loch Derg.
And I think there's many ways to the top of the hill.
Yeah. Tell you the truth now, man. I'd be age. You're going to probably give ayahuasca a try out, bro.
I think you're a man up for. I think you're a man up for anything, Tom.
He's one of the first travellers anyway to go back to college, so he's going to be one of the first ones to try ayahuasca.
Where did you see Tom go on in free the nipple and free the weed people, a proper hippie around the road.
Wearing this headband.
Full college.
A rosary being headband.
What do you call that, Len?
Man, you know what? That actually sounds like a very good life, man.
I shouldn't say the word. Joint.
You're already tempting me to give up my life and join this. What then? Keep talking, man. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, what you do this time, go around that roundabout a couple of times before you really decide.
Do you know what? This ain't for me. Probably is for me, but not for her and the kids.
Goodbye, ayahuasca.
We'd chat for another lifetime. Tom McDonagh, episode 47, A Traveller and a Countryman. Thank you very much, brother.
God bless,
boys. Thank you, and again, thank you very much.
Bless. Well played, Tom. Very good. Anyway, that's episode 47, yeah?
So that's us for this episode, Traveller and a Countryman podcast. If you like it, let us know, share it around, and we'll see you on the road.